Welcome to my Wednesday ramblings, and you'll be surprised to know it's actually Wednesday. This weekend, we celebrate the feast of Christ the King. The parish that I live in is obviously Christ the Priest, and there is no specific feast day for Christ the Priest in our Australian liturgical calendar. So we've combined it and celebrated on this Sunday, the last Sunday of our liturgical year. As we come to the end of the year, we know that there is a very real sense that the coming of the kingdom of God is near at hand. And so last weekend we had the apocryphal writings of Daniel and Mark, and this weekend we have more of Daniel, but this time the gospel reading is taken from the Gospel of John. And it's the scene where Jesus is in front of Pontius Pilate, and Pilate asks him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Pilate really wants to just try to understand something about why this person, who some are saying is the king of the Jews, others are claiming he's an imposter, why there is such anger between the people and Jesus. He never really works it out because he's looking at it from the wrong question. But Jesus simply tells him that my kingdom is not a kingdom of this world, that he has come to bring the sovereignty of God's reign into our human experience. And when you stop and think of it, that's really why the feast day was instituted in the first place. Back at the mid 1920s, as there was the rise of nationalism and atheism amongst countries that eventually led to the Second World War. Pius XI wanted to institute a feast that would actually once more place Jesus, the Christ, the high priest, the king, into the story of human experience. So this weekend we're looking at just something of what the love of the King, the Christ the King, means in our world today, as we're invited to step away from the, I suppose, sense of people just wanting what they want, what's important for them, for even nationalistic attitudes that arise and have arisen around the world, to come back to earth, to come back and recognize that what we've been given is creation. We've been asked to be stewards of it, not owners of it. It's one of the reasons why I like the notion that we have, that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander original occupiers of the land are in fact custodians and not owners, because they recognize that this land is gift. So I'd like to pray that as we celebrate the feast of Christ the King, we too might recognize that what we've been given is gift. And most of all, it's the gift and promise of everlasting life. I hope you have a great week. I look forward to seeing you next week as we begin our journey into Advent.